Switchbacks are the fun of mountain biking. A switchback is a corner that turns back direction on itself. As you can see behind me, turning 180 to my right and then 180 to my left. That's what a switchback is. There's a systematic approach that you'd use to handle a switchback. The first couple things that you're going to worry about is coming into the corner. You need to worry about the speed that you're entering the corner and whether that speed is going to allow you to actually get through the corner. So the first thing you need to worry about is your braking. And you're going to brake a lot faster in a straight line before the corner than you are once you're in the corner. Once you've started leaning into the corner, trying to slow down will often result in a bit of a crash or sliding out or slipping out a wheel. So majority of your braking and slowing down is done before the corner. So make sure that by the time you're entering the corner, that's the speed that you're going to maintain throughout the corner. Next thing you want to do is, as you're entering the corner, is your line choice. So setting up where you want to set up for the corner. I encourage you, whenever you're riding, try and set up as wide as possible. This always gives you the biggest arc to ride through the corner. So if I was coming in and riding and dropping in on the inside, my arc is going to be very tight and it's going to be a little bit trickier with my body position and turning. So I'll often set up wide and then decide what I want to do. I might cut to the middle of the corner, or I can maintain a nice outside line. As I'm coming through the corner, once I've decided to set up wide, I can then see if there's any obstacles I need to navigate midway through the corner. For example, in this corner, I'd have to worry about the roots in the middle of the corner. So the next point of call is, when do I drop my feet? Some of these corners I'd either ride with my pedals level, but ideally to generate speed, I'd want to drop my pedals. But I don't want to drop it too soon. Either I run the result of hitting either the outside bank or rocks or roots, in this case the root. So I don't want my pedal hanging low when I'm riding this corner. Ideally what I'd do is I'd ride that section with my pedals level, and then as I'm getting to the exit of the corner, that's when I'll drop my foot.
Hey guys, quick reminder, if you haven't liked and subscribed already, if you could, I'd much appreciate it. I'm really enjoying making these videos and I'd love to carry on doing it. Enjoy.
It's very common in mountain biking that people often say you shouldn't brake in corners. This is incorrect. What happens is there's a system that's in play when you're cornering. So the first thing that you're going to do is slow down into the corner. So you're going to slow down in a straight line. The speed, you're going to scrub all the speed until you get to the point that you're happy and comfortable with the speed that you want to enter the corner in. Once you start cornering, you don't want to be doing any slowing down. If you start to slow down, it's a good chance that you're going to wash a wheel or end up having to go over the corner. So what happens is, as I'm coming into the corner, I can now see that I'm turning to my right. So I'm slowing down before, I'm coming into the corner. By the time I'm entering the corner, I want to be at a speed that I'm comfortable enough to start riding the corner. What happens from there is I want to keep that braking consistent. So with whatever the brakes I've got, so I've now slowed down, I've got my brakes engaged, I'm going to keep and maintain that speed throughout the corner. So I'm going to maintain that braking. As I maintain and I come through the corner, what happens is, as I start to come around, there gets to a point. When I get to a point where I'm comfortable, I can see my exit, there comes a let off point. What happens is, when I feel comfortable, I let off the brakes, and that is the speed that I start generating out of momentum. So the key is, as you start becoming a little bit more comfortable, that braking point, that let off point, starts to move further and further back. That's how you start generating speed out of corners. What happens is, sometimes people come in too fast and they try accelerate into the corner, and then they end up having to pedal out. Whereas I encourage you to do your slowing down before, get comfortable, ride the corner, and then let off. That let off point is how you're going to generate a lot of speed out of your corners. This comes with a little bit of practice. What I encourage you to do is, when you're starting out, find some familiar corner and find something that like a reference point. So maybe a log or a stick or something on a corner that you might know, and then the first time you ride that corner, let off at that point. And every time you ride it, try bring it back half a meter, and you'll start to see how your exit speed is going to increase. What happens is, as you start accelerating a little bit more and a little bit more out of the corner, you'll eventually find a point where it's either going to feel like you're slingshotting out of the corner and you're carrying good speed, or you might have to re-brake. That's when you know where that point of letting off is. That's where your comfort point is. By the time, if you're having to re-brake after a corner, that's not what we're looking for. That means you might know that you found your limit. So ideally what I want to do is, I want to enter into the corner, keep my speed, maintain that speed through this same speed through the corner, and then let off to generate my exit speed. And that is how we start increasing our corner speed. Not coming in really fast and trying to keep that speed, you might end up having to brake. As you become a little bit more experienced at this, it starts to become a little bit easier. Your line of sight in mountain biking is one of the most fundamental skills and super important to your mountain biking. So what happens is when you're riding, you need to be looking ahead to see either things that are coming up and so that you can prepare beforehand and how to navigate them. So if there's a jump, a rock, an obstacle, you need to either accelerate, decelerate, slow down, pick a line. So your line of sight gives you the ability to do so. Whether it's riding a technical section, whether it's riding a corner, you're just making sure that you're looking ahead, gives you the ability to prepare and set up for whatever's coming. I also encourage you, a lot of the time with looking at your line of sight is looking around. So often there's no trail police, so sometimes people only ride the line that everyone else is riding. Their peripherals focus in on one thing and they're not looking around. So I encourage you to look around a little bit. If there's maybe an easier line that nobody else is riding, or a different line, something that might suit your style a little bit more, why not try it? There's nobody that's going to tell you yes or no. So especially if the trail's a little bit wider, you can pop off to the side, just set up wider for a corner, maybe try a different line in a rock garden. Don't be limited by what everyone else is riding and the rut that's following one line. So open your mind, look ahead, maybe there's something else, and feel free to try. It often comes down to being a little bit playful, trying and being open to exploring new things. This will often improve your skills and your abilities on the bike as well.
I really hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you learned a lot. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, it would mean a lot. Anyhow, jump onto the next video and let's see what else you can learn.